Who programmed you? The beliefs you never chose. Welcome back. My name is Mark, aka Create Lifestyle, and I help people, especially those over 50, master the matrix by breaking free from outdated beliefs so that they can experience freedom, abundance, peace of mind, residual income, and leave a powerful legacy. And if you're under 50, welcome, because understanding these principles could shave decades off of your evolution and unnecessary struggle and achievement of your goals. What if I told you that many of the beliefs guiding your life today weren't currently chosen by you? Now stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll understand where many of your beliefs come from, why your subconscious accepted them without questioning, and most importantly, how to begin rewriting your programming so you can constantly create the life you actually want. Understand that your programming, it begins early. Most of us believe we're making independent decisions, but think about it. Who taught you what success looks like? Who taught you what money means? Who taught you what failure is? Who taught you what was realistic? In air quotes. Before you were old enough to evaluate these ideals critically, you absorbed them from your family, your teachers, your friends, your community, from TV, television, right? Advertising, culture. Some of those lessons served you well, some may no longer serve you. The important thing isn't blaming anyone. The important thing is becoming aware. Understand that your subconscious, it accepts what is repeated. One of the most fascinating things about the subconscious mind is that repetition creates familiarity. If you repeatedly hear, money doesn't grow on trees, people like us don't become wealthy, be realistic, those ideas can become part of your internal operating system. Not because they're universally true, but because they're familiar. And as I always say, your subconscious mind, it's not trying to make you successful. It's just trying to keep you familiar, keep you safe. Understand also that this is what I mean by the matrix. When I talk about the matrix, I'm not just talking about society. I'm not just talking about unconscious programming, the automated thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the stories running in the background. That's the matrix I'm interested in helping people master. Understand also that here's the good news, programming can be rewritten. That's why neuroplasticity is so exciting. What is neuroplasticity? It's simply just changing the programming in your mind through repetitive phrases, like affirmations, for instance. That's why people can grow. That's why lives change. The moment you become aware of a belief, you create the opportunity to examine it. And what can be examined can be changed. I grew up believing that if you wanted more money, you just simply worked more hours. I watched my parents work. I watched my mom work. When she wanted more money, she would just go out there and work more overtime. But eventually she hit a wall. And sadly, when she got to retirement age, she was very sick and didn't last very long. She worked her whole life, was ready to enjoy retirement, and then got sick, and it was the slow downhill spiral, and she was gone. So that's what happened. Now understand that that's what I watched. That's what I saw. That's what made sense to me. Go out and just work. But once I saw that, I knew something was wrong. So it wasn't until much later that mentors introduced me to ideas like leverage, value creation, residual income. I realized I wasn't broken. I was operating from the only model I'd ever been shown. That realization changed everything. Today, ask yourself, what belief about money, success, relationships, or yourself have you simply accepted without ever questioning? Who gave you that belief? Is it helping you or is it limiting you? The goal is not to blame your parents or your teachers or society. Most people were doing the best they could with what they knew. The goal isn't to recognize that today you have a choice. You can continue living by somebody else's programming, or you can consciously choose the beliefs that align with the person you're becoming. That's what I mean by master the matrix. It's a game, as I mentioned earlier, and we must master this thing. Awareness is the moment borrowed beliefs become conscious choices. So what I'd like you to do is write down 3 beliefs you always accepted as true, and then ask yourself, Where did this belief come from? Does it still serve the life I'm trying to build? Don't answer it quickly. Reflect honestly. Sometimes the first step to changing your future is questioning your past. If this is resonating with you and if this makes sense, please leave a comment. And what's one belief you've questioned that changed your life? So, as I always say, the only way out is in. Peace, one love, and control your destiny.